Good evening, friends. This is another video on Future Group and Amazon and Reliance contest going on before various courts and media reports relating thereto. There are certain newspaper articles covering this entire episode very frequently. In next few days, the situation is going to be clear because there are so many interim orders and also certain final orders we are expecting. Interim orders from the Honorable Supreme Court with regarding to assets transfer. The matter is scheduled for hearing tomorrow. Delhi High Court again tomorrow. NCLAT again tomorrow on the challenge to the CCI's order keeping the previous permission granted to Amazon in abeyance. In between, we came across one more news saying that Future Retail Limited stares at insolvency action. We need to understand the position in law instead of just jumping to certain conclusions. There are certain clear provisions for the secured creditors, that is, banks, financial institutions, under Section 7 of IBC of 2016. Section 7 clearly mandates the secured creditor, the financial creditor, to approach the Honorable National Company Law Tribunal to seek recourse against a defaulter. They have to necessarily issue notice, they have to necessarily appoint an interim resolution professional, they have to file. One bank has to take a lead and another few banks who have lent money to Future Group can follow. The moment the petition application is received before the NCLT, that is National Company Law Tribunal, the tribunal has to look into the contents of the petition and also the documents and evidentiary papers which are annexed thereto. Based on that, according to Section 7, subsection 4, the adjudicating authority, that is the NCLT, shall within 14 days of the receipt of the application under subsection 2 ascertain the existence of a default from the records of an information utility or on the basis of evidence furnished by the financial creditors under subsection 3. Here it is very clear there are loans granted, assurances were given, the Future Group availed certain relaxations due to COVID, OTS, one-time settlement scheme and review. There is a clear default, no doubt about it. Now the whole thing is, during this entire proceedings before the Singapore International Arbitration Tribunal and till Supreme Court, till NCLAT, till NCLT, till Delhi High Court, Amazon has taken one consistent view that we will not allow Future Retail to go into waters, that is into liquidation. Now we will have to look into this promise of Amazon, to what extent they are going to really help Future Retail, because definitely Amazon carries some kind of social obligation in India and abroad, and it is a responsible company. We cannot ignore this. Now the moment petition is filed before the NCLT for closing down this company on the basis of default, whether everything gets over, everything is closed, all your retailers' money is gone, that's not the case. Take it from me, till today, the adjudication on merits has not fully concluded before any court, tribunal, or authority, including CCI. There were media reports on 12th of October saying that both the parties are coming closer, they want to settle. Amazon denied. Later on, recently also, Honorable Supreme Court suggested, why don't you people explore a settlement option? Again, the settlement collapsed. Now, before the Delhi High Court, both the parties are contesting. Amazon is taking a consistent view. The assets have to be preserved. But there is no Amazon's response how these assets are going to be preserved. Who's going to pay the rent? Who's going to pay the taxes? Who is going to pay the employees' salaries? Who's going to pay towards electricity, municipal taxes, municipal levies, ongoing expenses, all these things? There is no answer. Amazon is simply saying assets should be protected till the arbitration is concluded. The answer here is it is an absolute theoretical argument. There is no physical deposit of cash into the account of retail, future retail. How the company is going to survive? So therefore, technically, Amazon is making their submission based on the agreements, right or wrong. The honorable courts have to decide. But there is a clear attempt to push maximum negative news in the media, especially till 31st of March 2022. There is a resignation of Chief Executive Officer of Future Retail. Now Mr. Biani is back as a group CEO. We will have to look forward. What are his plans? How he is going to resolve this? How he is going to show that he is a responsible businessman? He has to show his goodwill, his face to the retail investors when he calls himself as one of the best retailer in India. Yes, there was a problem. Default has happened. It is not only Big Bazaar, entire business community is suffering with the financial crisis. It is absolutely unfair on part of Future Retail, Future Group at large, Amazon, and also Reliance to unnecessarily contest this battle, keeping all the retailers in trouble. You people are not going to gain anything if this kind of harassment continues to the honest and sincere investors of this country. Secondly, you may get acquisition of the assets, you may get certain profits, but at what cost? Absolute unethical grounds are no grounds for any celebration. Next, if at all Future Retail was in default, Reliance was well aware that Amazon is not going to leave this as it is. In that case, why you people entered into this kind of transaction? What was your hidden agenda? What was your hidden motto? Now it is absolutely clear. The Future Group has clearly allowed acquisition of all these majority of the stores to be surrendered to Reliance. Media report states employees have gone and joined Reliance. Submissions are made in the court that we are hanging by a thread. Yes, well taken. What your directors were doing, what your CEO was doing, what your managing director was doing, and if this is the state of affairs, what these banks were doing, what auditors are doing. Merely there was a scheme of Reserve Bank of India to help the industries. Where are the reports from these banks to secure public money? It is easy to take a default clause and make use of it and take a haircut, but where is the due diligence? If at all these things were visible to your experts, you could have definitely denied. Why banks have merely relied upon a promise by either Future Group or Reliance that money will come, the deal will go through. When these banks are fully aware that Amazon is not going to live like this unless their terms are met, why public funds were allowed to deteriorate further? What Reserve Bank is doing on this matter? What SEBI is doing on this matter? What other law enforcing agencies who are supposed to protect public money is doing in this matter? Merely because Reliance is gaining, why all these strict people are keeping silent? What is your role in this entire matter? So these things have to come to the light. Even today, for Amazon, Reliance, and Future Group, the things are well within your control. Please give some shape to this matter and amicably settle this matter. Otherwise, so many rent, eviction related matters, your civil disputes, arbitration, IBC, Section 7 proceeding, and unsecured creditors following this. All this process is going to only take time. Nothing is going to happen in a month or two. Therefore, in the interest of shareholders, in the interest of retailers, in the interest of your own corporate governance, please show some maturity, deal in a most professional manner. Don't destroy somebody's life. Somebody's hard-earned money is in your custody, and this is not the way in which any corporate dealing with an ongoing concern is expected to deal with the affairs of the company. It is absolutely bad. As far as the proceedings before the Supreme Court is concerned, the rent related matter, as rightly pointed out yesterday, that is previous hearing, how the Honorable Court can pass an order when there are no landlords and even Reliance before the Supreme Court. That's up to the court to pass an order. But the point here is this mess is getting larger. That is not the proper process to be adopted to resolve a dispute. Yes, even if you people want to contest, what is there to contest? So only procedural aspects are going to be tested for a longer time. The relief is going to be on the table as and when it has to come. But one thing is very clear, these banks have failed in dealing with this public money. The defaults are increasing, interest is increasing, and when Future Retail had no avenues for paying the rent and other things, why Reliance showed such a broad heart in helping them? Now, even if that is correct position, why Future Group's CEO, chairman and other independent directors are not making these affairs very clear to their shareholders? You can definitely come with a press release, and within the legal framework you can disclose certain things so that it gives some comfort to your own investors. If you fail to do that, it is a clear case of cheating, and it is very unfortunate. Please note. Thank you.